The old man will. The old man will. The old man will. The old man builds. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put them in the red. Where conscious and spirituality restricted from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Spheres of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds.
Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, otherwise known as Old Man Builds, guys. We got to talk about this thing right here. This pipe this guy put out. What do you think about it? I mean, is it real? Is it not real? Is it worth our time? Or is it just another psyop? So let's go ahead and pull it up here. This right here is what we're talking about, guys. So apparently when you put this thing right here at a certain degrees, it looks like it's what? I don't know, 30 degrees. It's supposed to pick up energy. And at that, it was so bad that they couldn't use a regular multimeter. They had to use a worse one in order to check it out. So what do we think here? What's going on, everyone? Honestly, they haven't figured out that the whole Earth is built on scalar. So this doesn't surprise me that they're picking up frequency and putting it at the correct angle in order to make it. I mean, look, we've already understood how frequency works. You can take a pipe and blow on the top of it and make frequency in the pipe. That's not that difficult. It'll produce energy. It's the frequency in the pipe that does it. So this is no surprise. And if you followed what we're doing here, guys, let me just remove this. I'll show you another one because this is based on previous work. Oh, give me a second. Let me find it here. So Michel did the work on this, and it's a cold current circuit is exactly what he did. And that's all this is. So let me pull that up here for you. You all remember this one right here.
On that side and come back on the other side here. So that's what is cold current. I'll put some links in the video description to read a lot more about it. There are books written about this, and I've given you the simple answer. So those are quantum fields happening in front of us.
So that's kind of as simple as it gets. Look, I won't go into the whole thing, but a guy named Vili did this, and he did it in France. He was a teacher, and he saw that this was working, that he can get cold current out of it. And it produces a field and it produces energy. Now, what is the pipe thing that we're talking about right now? Well, it's basically almost the same thing, right? So let me pull it back up because I don't want to play the video on it, guys. I'm just not that, sorry, my mic's in the way from seeing it. I'm not that intrigued by it. And I know a lot of people out there might be, but this is like old news. He wraps a pipe. It's, you can do it in one pipe. You could do it in two separate pipes and keep them a little bit apart, and you're going to be able to get it. Yeah, it's a ringer. That's all it is. Look, this is as simple as it gets, guys. This device right here is a PSYOP. And let me explain this just so we understand this. Anytime we get close to free energy or cold energy or anything like it, the physics community comes out with something like this. This is absolute garbage compared to what we can get. Okay? Wilhelm Reich has already shown us Oregon energy. This isn't anything different. You put pipes in the ground and it produces an energy field, and you put it next to your plants and it makes your plants grow better. That wasn't hard. We already knew about that. We already figured it out. Yeah, we know what Oregon energy is. All we have to do is take the particular pieces of metal or, fragments or whatever, stone, put them in layers. I mean, we all learned this with 8th century. You already told us what Oregon energy was. Just layer it. They took the huts in Ireland with the dome tops and they layered them and they had Oregon energy. Then they created a resonance chamber in the part where they lived in. So yeah, they did know about it a long time ago and they got more energy out of it than this little pipe. So yeah, it's a total psyop. Like if you fell for this, I'm sorry. I am 100% sorry. This is a full psyop in physics. This is, hey, let me show you something that looks a little bit decent, and then let's promote it everywhere. Every single channel that puts this on as real is a psyop, okay? Flat out. Dude, anybody who works with this stuff already knows better, okay? They looked at it and they laughed at it, okay? Oh, hold on. I got a picture for you. Let's just take a look. So, I love pictures. Let's see. Here we go. This guy here, man, look at the size of his pipes. I mean, look. This guy must get monster energy, huh? Look at that. Actually, what this was trying to do was influence the weather with energy. But yeah, I mean, he really laid the pipe on this one, guys. He must have massive voltages to come in. Must be why he needs a cart to wheel it around with. Yeah, it's a total psyop. Okay, we already knew about this. We already understand that we live in a scalar, and that's what it is. You put pipes at an angle, they're going to pick up different frequencies, and as they resonate in a chamber, they're going to produce a very minuscule amount of energy. This thing is like well known. Look at it. I mean, this guy's got bigger pipes than the other guy, and he puts his at an angle too. He must be like the monster pipe guy. This guy must be like the most popular guy in town. I mean, the physics community must have embraced him. Oh, that's right. They ran him out of town and they tried to take him out. Yeah. Oh, they really want some free energy, right? Yeah. No, sorry. That's a psyop, guys. You must have no knowledge of how things actually work in engineering to think that was really, a good idea, that was going to do anything. I will even go one further for you. Okay. I did an experiment and I thought, well, if you're creating microvolts, can I just do millivolts and be okay? Yeah. I mean, let's take a look. Okay. I must be able to do it. So I stuck my multimeter into a potato. This one to see how much voltage was in a potato. Set it down to millivolts. Stick the potato. Oh, look, I already won. I already won. I didn't need to show my rod either. I just showed the potato. Think if I had two of them. That's going up. Yeah, this is high school. This is a battery. That's all it is. It's in DC voltage. It's a battery. It's going up. Oh man, what are we doing next? Yeah, beans. We get some beans and potatoes. Just fluctuating. Okay, is it making any difference if my hand comes next to it? No, not a bit of difference. Huh. Interesting. Oh, it doesn't like my capacitance. Huh. I just see they got to 71. Huh. Oh, 100 and something millivolt. That's hilarious. But oh, hold on. Oh. Oh, I gotta play this again for you. That's hilarious. Potato power. Oh man. Yeah, we got potato power. We don't need no pipes. Look at us go, man. Yeah. My Tesla coil Gen 3 potato coil. Oh, yeah, grapes in the microwave. Hey, there's some power for you. Oh, wow. Talk nice to it. Oh, 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 yeah. Well, it's been here the whole time, guys. We've always had energy everywhere. It's in, you got to hit the right frequency. That's all that it is. You know, materials and stuff, that's an organite, man. They're just, that's all they're doing. They just put it in a pipe form. That's it. That's all that they did. That is as simple as that. I mean, look, I'm more impressed with the other guys' pipes. They were much bigger. All right, so let's try this again, okay? There's got to be something out there that's worse than this experiment as far as how much power you can get. I mean, there can't be ordinary things to get power, right? I mean, the potato must be an outlier, right? Oh. No. Oh. What is this? That's right. All we had to do was put water and calcite, and we even got better than the potato. Guys, that's a rock. It's crystal. We did better than a potato. We did better than this pole. Man, we are killing it today. Look at this. We are energy machines. Yeah, nature provides. This is just bad, guys. I mean, look, if I can pull these examples in a few minutes, I'm sorry. The unique thing about that whole experiment was the fact that the pipe actually picked up a little bit of energy, but not because it was energy, but because it was scalar, and they missed the whole point. They start talking about magnetic fields. Hello, genius. There's no magnetic field around us. We're not all stuck to a bunch of iron. Hello. Do you really understand what's going on here? You do know that radiant energy defeats Lenz's law. Therefore, the magnetic field is so minuscule, you barely pick it up. Oh, let me think. Isn't that how the Earth actually works? I mean, the space station, oh man, it must be sucked to some kind of rock of iron, shouldn't it? I mean, we should be like pulling them in, right? With all this magnetism going on. Oh man, physics really missed out on this one. Yeah. Okay. All right, brainiacs, let's get back to business. You don't understand this world if you still think it's a magnetic field. If you do not understand it's a radiant field, you are in trouble. You do not understand scalar. Go back to physics class and relearn it. Come back when you got it right and show me something that's good. Okay? I mean, look, I think you could pass wind and then have more energy than that pole. Matter of fact, I think you could pass wind in the pole and heat the pole and have more energy. I do not think in any way that that experiment is any good. Okay? I've seen a lot of things that are poo experiments, and I mean a lot. And they try hard. This one wasn't even trying, guys. Look, they was like, okay, I need to come up with something for science class at the last minute, and I didn't record the beans blowing up in the microwave. So I just got to take this pole that I put some wire around, and I'm just going to see if it gets me some kind of energy. Oh, doesn't show up on the regular multimeter. I got it. Let's spend hundreds more dollars, maybe $1,000 on a multimeter that sucks even worse, that can barely pick up anything, and let's spend that money wisely. Now we got it. All right. We're not millivolts in them anymore. We're in microvolts. We got some microvolts. Yeah. Potato gets better. I mean, how about an orange? My pet rock had more energy. You know, we can go pull that from outside. You know, we can put a little water around it, make it feel comfortable. Little sponge bath. Yeah, already got more energy in it. Heck, it's more exciting too. I mean, this is bad. Oh, banana. Yeah, we could do a banana. Yeah. Man, you gotta love these things. Look, I'll be honest with you, man. When it's that simple and it's that dumb and it has no energy to it, they always write that off and there's a rounding error when they do the math. This is somebody that sit there and did the math and said, this is a rounding error, so let's get rid of it. That's what they did. So, yeah, no, it's bad. It's just bad. Let's see. Yeah, potato next to an organite pyramid. I'll tell you what, the pyramid still got more energy in it than that pole does. Go stand on top of it. You'll feel it. Still got more energy after all these years, man. I mean, why don't they look into that? That's where the energy could be produced. That's actually something that could work because it has resonance chambers in it. I mean, you know, I saw a physicist do this a long time ago, and Julius Sumner. And he says, physics is my game. And he simply took a pipe and took another pipe and just simply went like this and created a resonance in it, and it made energy. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is, guys. That's resonant. It's resonant to each other because of the length of the pipe. This guy just forgot the second pipe. Maybe he doesn't have friends. I don't know. You know, maybe they don't do that. Who knows, man? All I know is you create resonance in a pipe and it has energy. Oh, how about the egg? Oh, the PSYOP egg. They were good at that one. Oh, we're going to wait. Oh, my God. I believe it's real. I go on record saying it's real. Yeah, that guy with the pipe that freaks you out with his eyeballs. Oh, man. The egg. Oh, that's awful, dude. They think we're a bunch of morons. I mean, seriously. I mean, look, I would love for there to be some free energy out there, but please don't show me a stupid pipe. I mean, don't show me an egg. I mean, this is just, dude, it's ridiculous. Okay, and it was a total egg. Okay, there was no getting around it. There's no covering up for it. There was no ship there. They put a piece of rope around an egg and tried to lift it. It's just, oh my, the things they try to get away with. I mean, I've seen some really stupid experiments, but that one takes the cake. Okay. And they're all over it. So let's see. Who gets all the money and gets monetized on their channels on YouTube? Everybody over there who's pushing the psyop, pushing the, it must be right. It must be right. No, it's garbage. It was garbage physics when they showed it. It's just like the egg. Okay. Sorry, not buying it. I did better in high school chemistry than this. You know what I mean? I could have learned more with a Bunsen burner than to look at that thing. I mean, what do you think Tesla was doing? He has a patent that shows him pulling energy out of the air. But I can just take the antenna on top of my house and bring it down from a wire and get more energy than that pipe did. That's curious. We must dissuade them from doing that by showing them a crappy pipe. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, they won't know the difference. They don't read that kind of stuff or anything. They don't go over there and find out what Tesla was doing. No, they couldn't have pulled energy from the air. No. They don't have antennas on their house anymore. They wouldn't understand this process, right? Yeah. No, we got it. Yeah, we got it. We just put up an antenna, man, pull the energy in. We can use it. We can convert it. It's not that hard. You know, all you have to do is create a wire around a solid object. And once you do, it makes the energy turn from very high voltage to have amps in it. That was the key secret to Tesla. He had a wooden pipe right down the center of Wardenclyffe. Inside of that, he had a metal one. Why? Multiple field impingement. He simply took the energy from the sky, brought it in, turned it into hot energy in the middle so he can take it off and run his warehouse. And then he put the rest of it down on the ground so he can go into the water table, which actually took the scalar energy in a negative way. It's a negative radiant energy, puts it into the water. The water goes all over the earth, and it gives everybody free energy. Came up with it a long time ago. The funnier thing is, man, the pyramid does the same thing. How long ago was that? 20,000 years? And don't try to tell me 4,000 years ago with the little mud brick one that they tried to make was a total disaster. Those things have been there for so much longer. Don't even try to pull the wool over my eyes on that one. Look, the bottom line is we know how to do it. We've already explained it on this channel many times. We could take Wardenclyffe and build it today and put it right into the ground and produce the energy. We could put it right in the water. As I showed many times with my Tesla coil, I could take that radiant energy field, put it in the water, and put my hands in it, no problem. Not one single problem. As a matter of fact, you know, I can't say that on YouTube, but it's not the way they make it sound. This is not like a windmill in the middle of the ocean that makes whales crash. This isn't a solar panel with only 20% efficiency, only to know that they can build 80% efficient ones right now that, you know, we could seriously already take over just by the solar panels on our roofs had we had the correct ones where they're not holding back on us. If we start to put our, you know, transformers in resonance with stuff, guess what? They already know that one too. You'll get more energy. Why? Because the resonance itself produces energy, which puts it into the transformer. They don't want you to know that. Then you'd understand over unity very easily. When you start understanding frequency produces energy. No. Yeah, well, I showed you guys that too with my Tesla coils, man. It's a simple fact of how this stuff works. You know, the only thing that breaks gravity, and they don't want you to know this either, is frequency. It's the resonance frequency. You must have a resident frequency. You have to have two frequencies which make resonance. Then you must have a pulse wave, which is a resident frequency. That is exactly how the earthquake machine worked from Tesla. He had a very low frequency because it went up and down between the magnets, and then on the bottom you had water hammer and steam hammer, which created the pulse wave, which sent it out everywhere, just like it was a speaker. It's like traveling in sound. It pushed it out all over, and it went right into the iron in the building and started shaking it. Why would they not want you to know that? Because consistent resident frequency causes problems in nature. And when it does, it breaks gravity. It's that simple. It has nothing to do with the laws of an airplane. I mean, stop trying to tell me that. Stop doing math based on that. Understand what I'm saying. It is a very clear understanding. Resident frequency is required for anti-gravity. You want over unity, you better learn resonance. You better learn how the ring works. You better learn the harmonics of the ring because it's the same thing. Then you better learn fractal geometry, which is truly just fractions. Whether it's 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7. How does that work out? Say, I want to take a Tesla coil, right? I simply run the radio frequency on it, okay? You take your frequency generator, you take a 20 ohm resistor, you put it to the number 2 coil of your Tesla coil, you ground out the other side of the probe, and then you basically put 5 volts into it, and you start scrolling frequencies. Every time it spikes, that's a radio frequency. That's a point where it's resonant, okay? Then you keep going and you map them out. Once you map them out, you can build a coil to every single one of them, and it'll create such a high amount of energy when you're done because you're playing with multiple fields again. And they're in the ring. So you're tearing apart the ring and building it out layer by layer by layer by layer. That's how you have to do it. That's how you get energy to work for you instead of you working for it. All you're trying to do is take the energy that they pulled in with their little pipe and you're pulling it in with the Tesla coil, which is way more powerful. Now you have the correct thing because the Tesla coil is a pump. It literally is just a pump. It is pulling in the energy from everywhere around you into it. Why do we use different coils, man? It's because we want to pull the energy in different ways. We want to flow it. We want to move it in different directions. We also understand, and if you don't by now, that crystals produce the energy on our planet. That's why it's radiant energy. That's why everything comes out in a geometrical pattern when we start looking at this. Every vortex has a geometrical pattern to it. Pretty simple, right? Look at a crystal structure and then look at it in 3D. Quit looking at it in 2D. Start to understand this. You build it in 2D as a coil, but what does it look like? It's a 3-dimensional sphere. That's how this system works, okay? That's how it's built out in the earth. It's crystals being resonated everywhere. So, because they have that form and the oxygen in the crystal, guess what? Now you have that up on the top of the earth here where we are, and you can produce it based on that. Then you can start matching frequencies. You see, that's when it gets interesting. Now we can start to get back to the tech that they had in Atlantis way back in the day, and we can start to understand what they're doing. You see, we've been held back for years on this stuff, guys. Nobody's willing to say it. Nobody probably understands it anymore. Tesla was probably one of the last greats that truly understood all of it. You have to pull the energy as it's built. Build it the same way, pull it the same way. Now you have it. Okay? A little pipe isn't going to get you there. Not at all. When you have over unity in a circuit, it means that you do not have hysteresis. You cannot have heat in it. You must pull it in cold. When you pull the battery from the negative directly into the coil first, please understand this. It goes into the coil first. It resonates the coil like a PNP, but you're using an NPN because you do not want a resistor. It's very important you understand that. That's the way cold energy circuits are built. That's the way over unity is built. You're pulling the negative through the coil first. Before it can hit any hot point that you create, it's already pulled through the coil. It's already producing the resonance between the two coils that make up that one coil that you think it is. There's two coils in there, man. It's two coils resonating. So start thinking of it like your Tesla coil resonating. Now you're starting to get somewhere. The difference is it pulls it into the low hertz, not the high, megahertz or kilohertz. It's pulling it into the low hertz, right down to Schumann's resonance. It's right where we want to be. That's why we use these things in this way. Pull the energy field in. What happened? Because there's no heat in it. A natural progression when you have any bit of magnetics from the cold energy circuit, it will pull in any heat because it needs it. It's the draw. When I say draw, it basically means if I hook this up to a light bulb, I must ground out the light bulb because the ground is a heat source. Therefore, the energy will pull towards the heat. Do you understand what I mean? It's the draw. The heat is the draw. It is what pulls the energy through the circuit. That's how cold energy works. That's why it goes from negative to positive and not positive to negative. You want the cold in the actual coils. Now, when it's cold, you're creating a temperature differential between the cold part and the hot room. Now the hot room tries to go into the cold part, okay? It's attracted because it's the draw. It's what makes it work. It always works that way in nature. Anytime you deal with cold electricity, I showed it in my Tesla coil when I pull it. You see when I put it to ground, I can go further. Anytime I wrap it in a little bit of a coil before I go to the next one, it goes further. Anytime I ground out the energy on the back side of it, the energy goes further. Why? You're creating a heat draw. It is literally the key to 0-point energy to create that heat draw. You have to have the center of it cold. You see, now once you do, it starts to vortex. Vortex makes it colder. It tries to pull the heat in, but the heat in movement gets converted to cold. No different than putting it through a fan. It does the same process. You could take a hot room, turn on a fan, and cool it down. Why? Because the fan's moving the air around and making it colder. As you create a vortex, it's going to go through it and make it colder. What happens in your room? You start dropping degrees. That's what it is. That's your temperature differential. This is the key to energy. Not some pipe. Not some spark gap in a vacuum chamber. I'm sorry. I've seen that too. And dude, I could spot a spark gap a mile away. Hey, if you guys have been watching my shorts lately, you understand probably something you didn't know about me, that I know everything about high voltage and how it works and how frequency works in it and how things change. Look, bottom line, man, I know a spark gap in a vacuum chamber when I see it. And you can pull a little bit of energy out of the vacuum in there, but it's nowhere near what you need. And when you start dealing with these things and they create this giant magnetic field to hold them in and you start going for cold fusion, you're not even pulling the energy out of the right place. That's the problem. You didn't understand the physics behind it before you built it. You did all the math and didn't bother to ask an engineer how it should be built. You just spent $1 billion to build a machine that looks like a great paperweight. That's it. So, any books you could be recommended? No, they don't put this stuff in books. Look, here's how you do it. You want a cold energy circuit, you want over unity. Look at every single patent that has to do with it, and you're going to find a commonality. Does it have a resistor? Does the circuit make any sense when you run positive energy through it? Say you run it as a conventional circuit on an NPN transistor. Does it make sense? You're going to find the answer is no. It doesn't make a bit of sense. You're going to be one of changing components everywhere, and you're going to fight it. Why? Because it doesn't run that way. It runs by pulling the negative through the circuit. If you took out the NPN and you put in a PNP, you would go, well, the circuit makes a lot more sense now because now it's running in negative, right? What's the problem with the PNP? It requires a voltage differential in order to trip the circuit, right? Well, you don't want that. You don't want that resistor in there. So what do you have to do? You have to run an NPN and create a hot energy draw to pull the negative through the circuit. That's it. And then you have to take your coil and balance it out with the capacitors. This is the same thing you do with the Tesla coil, okay? You sit there and you go, okay, I got to take my capacitors. I got to go in there so I can match the frequency correctly in order to put it in oscillation, right? Well, it's the same thing in a cold energy circuit. You're just doing it on the back side of it. Now you're balancing your capacitors with the coil. That's really cold energy one-on-one, man. One-on-one. You're learning the circuit backwards is the way you do it. Lots of great engineers have dyslexia. Okay, what does that mean? To build things in reverse. Gerald famously told me, just run it in reverse, man, it works. And then he said, that's it. I guess either you get it or you don't, right? Look, bottom line is, man, they're running in reverse. It's done all the time. If you want to learn radiant energy and you want to do this, oh, man, Edwin Gray, the Gray Tube. Now I could tell you how to do it right now. Radiant energy must be held in and compressed. You know, Tesla always says it's like water. And when you start saying it's like gas too, you have to compress it. That's what the tube's for. So how would you do that? Basically a tube with mineral oil in it, caps with mineral oil. It'll stop the field from going through it. It'll slow it down so that it can build up. That sounds pretty simple, right? That's not hard. Then what do? You take that cold current tube that we saw earlier and you put it in the center of there. Okay, we get cold current. Now we need cold electricity because we want to combine them, right? So now we need a heat draw in order to take that cold and field flip it to hot. That's not that hard. We take a DC flyback, we connect it in there on one of the rings of it. So for those of you who don't know what this device is, it's a pipe with another pipe, and then it has a tube that runs through it. And yeah, they do separate right there. The exact signature of the cold current. Yep. So how do you do it? You basically take one of the center rings right there in the tube and you connect it to a hot energy source. You let the radiant energy run. Now remember, this is like filling up something with water. You're letting it go in, letting it go in. It's not getting out. If you built it right, it's not getting out. Now it's building and building and building and building. You trigger the DC flyback. It converts the energy right away to a hot energy, blows it right through that cold current energy, flips the field on you. Boom, massive amount of voltage and amperage coming out of there. That's the exact process in that. That's how you got to do it. The cold current isn't a spark gap. It's just two pipes wrapped with wire, but it has a divider in the middle. And it's kind of like when you go over and you try to do the Meg. You could put magnets in there and probably amplify this thing. That's probably what the original inventor did. You ever seen the Meg? You basically have an iron core and then you put magnets in it, man. And then it amplifies the energy. You basically make a ringer out of it. You put in the wrapping on one side. Say it's 22 wraps. That means on the other side, in order to get this thing to be resonant, you must now create 22 wraps on this side, right? It matches the frequencies here. That shouldn't be hard. It creates an oscillation between the two, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Not hard. But now let's change up the game a little bit because we want to keep some of that energy for us, but then we want to continue to run the circuit. So I'm going to take 11 wires right here and run it back to the regular circuit. Now I'm going to take the other 11 wires and run it to a cap bank. You go, well, hold on, they're going 2 different directions, right? But I still had 22 wires on each side. I still created resonance between them. Once this one goes off, it's already shot its energy to this one. Now, where this one goes with it, well, that's up to it, as long as it continues to resonate. This one doesn't know that the energy was shot off. It just created a field. So it goes back to the battery and gives it back. Then brings it back up again. It says, hey, here, ring, here I am. This one takes it and goes, oh, okay, I know what to do with it. Boom, it's gone. Then this one goes, hey, you didn't use me. I go back to battery. That's the story of it. That's a ringer. Tesla used them. It's as simple as it gets, guys. That's what a ringer is. Okay, it's what a bit is. Yeah, the blotch wall right there. That's all you got to do. Some of this stuff is so easy. The problem is everybody's out here using complex words for physics, and they're not engineers. They're not the builders of this stuff. They are mathematicians, and they do great at their job, and I won't discount any one of them. I think they're awesome. Every side needs an equalizing partner. The problem is we don't have a lot of engineers besides the folks here in the chat and myself to figure this out. You see, we can smell the BS on you coming from a mile away because we already knew how it was built. And, you know, it's already to us old news. So we've already figured out what the answer to over unity is. It just takes the guts for one of us to put it out there. That's really what it is. And we're not getting there with hot circuits. So I'm sorry for everybody out there running it, you know, positive first. You're not getting over unity. They say, but Nathan, I can do it. I can do it. No, you may accomplish unity. That's a possibility for you. Over unity is not. And look, let's be clear about this. I'm not a fan of multimeters. Just not. Give me a bypass switch. That's all I want. All right. Let's make this thing run, hit the bypass switch, take off the battery, and let it continue to run. That's it. Why would I need a multimeter to show unity? If I got a full cap bank and it's still running, I might have a little extra, right? I mean, why in the world am I trying to show you the multimeter? Multimeters are, you know, there to measure stuff. I don't care to measure it. I care that it runs itself. There's a lot of flaws in energy that pop up and spikes and valleys and stuff like that show up in your currents. I don't want those. I just want it to run itself. And I'm sorry, but I do not believe in any way that we should get away from that. So, yeah. Man. Engineers are required to do this stuff, guys. Like, I don't have all the answers. I have quite a few of them. I'm working on a project that, dude, I should have been done with it in months. Let me just be very honest with you. I should have been done with it in months, and I can't get the damn thing to operate properly. And I should have just scrapped it and started over and done, you know, my own. And I didn't. And because I didn't, I'm dealing with somebody else's chaos. Whereas you see my coils and stuff, I build them the right way. They're nice and clean. I really do not like the chaos. Hey, I really don't. I just want them to work just right. I sit here and I almost had tears in my eyes pulling my coil apart, man. And yeah, just to get the right frequency. I took off 80% of the windings on it to find the right frequencies to put something in the correct resonance. And let me tell you something right there, man, all that hard work, and I didn't have a winding machine, and, you know, I just, it hurt, but I knew I had to do it, and in order to get the right frequency, sometimes, man, that's just what you got to do. So, Yeah, that sucks. But I think a lot of people are going to start to understand when we start to build the coils and stuff and do the right thing that we're just going to get it. And I'll tell you right now, all gloves are off, man. I'm just going to build these things myself. You know, I'm tired of playing games. I'm just going to show my work. So, you know, it took me all of 4 minutes to get a magnet to spin in a circle of my rodent coil. I did it earlier today. First time I did it, man, I'm laughing. It took me about 4 minutes to go in there and put in 7.85 hertz and put it in the middle of my rodent coil and do it. Like I won't just tell you. I'll show it to you. Okay. So here we go. We go a little show and tell. I have my rodent coil out to do experiments, and I just wanted to show this. We can see this already. The magnet's already moving. Let's see what it does in the cup. Kind of interesting, huh? Got that magnetic field rolling through it. That's pretty cool. Put the cup back. Now, 3/4 inch sphere. You can feel it right here. It's already rolling around in there. You can see it on there. All right. Enough messing around. Yeah, it spins in there. Like certain parts better than others. So while that's in there, we'll just place that magnet on the table. Interesting, huh? Oh, look at that. Did you see that? Hold on. Let's try to get that to do that again. It repulsed it. Now it's attracting. Interesting, huh? Oh, look at that. Did you see that? Hold on. Let's try to get that to do that again. It repulsed it. Now it's attracting. Yep. Not doing it again. Strange things happen with magnets and fields. I guess it should be predicted. Whew. Yeah. Take that one out of there. We'll just try this little guy here. Yeah, it's the same thing. Interesting. Let's see what other kind of magnets they got. Oh. It came back up. Oh, this is like a fun game. Let me see if I can't get a little closer. You can see the magnet moving my hand. It's obviously playing with the field. You can go around the whole thing and map it. I love magnets. I'm going to break something. All right, let's get to the good part. So we know the magnetic field's happening. What do I have hooked up? I have a 12-volt power pack. I'm hooked to a trigger circuit. I am connected to my rodent coil through A and B, just on one of the terminals only. I'm going to get this up close shot. So this right here is what my frequency generator's at. So as you can see, pretty simple Schumann resonance. That's what's doing it. So, and it's an easy circuit, guys. I don't need to draw a diagram for this. It's a trigger circuit. This is how they work, okay? Positive and negative to your function generator goes into the trigger circuit. Power goes into the power of your coil. A and B, then you get a magnetic field forming its pulse. About as simple as it gets, right? Let's see. I can't. Yeah, magnets in your hand, they just, oh, they love the round one. It's doing circles right there. There you go. Here's some ghostly stuff. There's that magnet on there. Look what it's doing there. This is so cool. Oh, it came right over to it. I'm going to break that glass. Watch. Wonder, I don't think it'll spin in the cup, though, on the outside, but you never get these magnets free. Ugh. Nope. Ooh, right there. Anyway, kind of interesting playing with my magnets. Anyway, hey, look, it just stopped. There it goes. Now it's out there again. A little poltergeist action going on. All right, guys. As you can tell, I had fun today. I was just playing around, seeing what they do. I don't know if anybody noticed this at all, but the outside of the rodent coil was attracting. The inside was repulsing. So it was just an interesting dynamic of the magnets working. You knew that the magnet was turning because it was repulsing it and forcing it to rotate. It wasn't attracting it in. And you can see that when I basically had the magnet going around. Now, when it got under it, then it started attracting. So there's different fields going on. And then on the outside, saw the magnet always attract to the inside or the bottom of the thing as well. So it had to do with the way that the connections were set up in there. As you can see, it was a simple experiment, easy connections. The trigger circuit cost me all of, I think it was $1.25 a piece. They came in a pack of 10, I think it was, for $8 at Amazon. That was it. They run about 12 volts, and then you can get a higher power one if you want to run up to 40 volts. That one right there will only get you about 16 volts. That's about it. So that's pretty easy function generator. You can use a little cheapy. I have a $10 function generator that I use in my circuits, and it works just as good as my regular function generator. So I only use that one because I had it out. But you can use a simple, small Amazon $10 function generator with the duty cycle and frequency. Just set it to the right one, and you're good to go, man. Your circuit's complete. It doesn't get any easier than that. The harder thing was building the coil, man. It took me several hours to build that coil. Because first you got to go out there and stretch out a bunch of wire about what? I don't know, maybe 125 feet, something like that. Or it was a pretty good distance, man. And then you had to build 22 of them. Then you had to take them under drill and spin them. Yeah, nightmare. Just total nightmare. Then you had to put it on this big piece of PVC and wind it. And then you're over here with that little coil, and it feels like you're sewing with a gigantic needle, oversized needle, like somebody's pulling a joke on you as you're doing it, laughing at you in the background. So, yeah, it was harder to build the coil than it was to put that in resonance. It was a simple understanding of frequency and which one you needed. And since they put that out a long time ago, man, it was already known to everybody what it was. So that was a pretty simple one. We knew it was DC because anything that's a magnet pulses in DC. That's it. Doesn't pulse in AC, it pulses in DC. So, though we look at ACs going back and forth, but no, you need a pulse DC to pull this off. Now, the cool thing was, okay, and I didn't show it there, put in a sine wave to it, which is AC, okay? It sings. About 100 kilohertz, it starts singing to you. Why? Because we're getting close to the resonance frequency of it. So one of the things I wanted to do with this is start mapping out the frequencies. We take the radio frequencies, like I mentioned earlier. We'll map them out exactly where they're at. Okay, and which one does it. And we'll simply hit it with a piezo buzzer with a jewel thief circuit. And then we'll see if we can jump them. We'll start at the bottom. We'll hit it and see if we can't jump. And then we'll start at the top and we'll hit it and we'll see if it jumps down. It's a simple experiment, but it's going to be a fun one to find out where something is in this. So, I had already pulled out the coils to do other things with it because I need it. That's my over unity coil, man. That right there, I fill that thing up with radiant energy, and because it saturates the field, I'm able to pull a ton of energy off it everywhere until the field stops being saturated. I think that's where a lot of people miss this. They don't realize saturation, what it does. You saturate it, it sings. It's that simple. You got a ton of energy in there. It's hitting resonance. It's resonance between two. You notice I used A and B, which basically means I have two fields separated in there. And as soon as you hit it, it actually goes as two coils. Now, why does it do that if they're all wrapped together? I mean, that's got to be a question that everybody's got to ask. You say these things are all put together in wires, and then you hit them with a drill, and they turn around together, right? So why aren't they all buzzing when you go test them out? I mean, I haven't had one person ask me that when I built it, but they all come off as different. And it has to do with the coating on them. The coating has a separation field. That's it. It's separated of a field. That coating is important. you have broken coating, you start having problems. But since I don't, and it's clean, then I can get resonance between two wires. Now, the wires are hooked to 11 on one side, 11 on the other, okay? Or 10 combined, right? And then 2 or whatever you want to say it. It's basically the same thing as a bit, man. It literally is. All you have to do is wind it the right way, get it saturated, pull in the coldness to it, and that's what it does when you connect the center of your Tesla coil to it, that rod that goes down the center that I put in there all the time. It saturates it. And you guys have seen my experiment where I actually take in my Tesla coil and I put the energy in there and then let it sit. And it stays in there for a few seconds, right? I mean, maybe 5-10 seconds. It's not much, but it's still something, right? That's the temperature differential. The center had to catch back up with the outer part in order to turn off the energy. It was still pulling it in from the environment. You see, we don't create or destroy energy. We create a trap for energy that pulls it in. We literally use the vortex to pull in the energy. So that's what we're doing here. That field of saturation is so important in one of these. In any coil design you want to do, transformer, bit, whatever you want to say, saturate the field. Saturate the field. You can probably increase the saturation of magnets in it like a meg does. I mean, you guys got to start looking, and I know a lot of you do, but you got to look over all the experiments at once and say, okay, this is doing this. I need that part. This is doing this. I need that part. This is part doing this over here. How do I combine them cohesively to get it to the end, right? That's it. So, yeah, it's literally building the ether. Now I think the ether is a little more involved than the rodent coil gets because it's only, I'd like to say it's one side, but it may get there in the end. I think it'll create over unity. In order to pull the rest of it, we're going to need some geometry coils. And because they make the geometry that matches the Earth, is why they pull it in, because it's the multiple frequencies already built in for the ring. I think a lot of people understand that. I keep talking about it. What is it doing? If I set it in sevenths, every 2 wires that come across this way create a 7th. Then 2 7ths. Then 3 7ths and 4 7ths. How does that work out for you? Now, if you say the first one's 3, the second one's 6, the next one's 9, the next one after that's 12, you go, well, hey, hold on a minute. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we start to understand it, right? But now if I change the frequencies on you and just put frequencies in place of the 3, 6, 9, and 12, now it should still make sense, right? 432, 538. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. They're going, okay, well, which key is that in the harmonic scale? Is it scale of A, scale of B, scale of C? What is it, right? Then you look at it and you go, okay, what is the fraction of that? The fraction of that is your ring. It's a tornado. It is literally what you are creating in this whole thing. The vortex we always talk about. That's how you go through the little parts of it and put it together. You're literally making this in there. Now, it's up to you to understand it. Because Don Smith understood it. He said, let me take this full frequency here, and then I'm going to take a half wave of that and build a coil. Then I'm going to take a quarter of the original and make a coil. I'm going to take a third of the original and make a coil. I'm going to run it all together. What did he do? He's creating a ring in the whole thing by using radio frequency. Each single one of them. I say, thirds, quarters, half, 3/4, 1, full, right? That's not that hard. But what does that equate to? 432, 538, 7, whatever. It's all the same thing. You got to put it together that way. And that's what he's doing. He's creating the ring. Why? Because when he hits resonance in every single one of them, it creates an amplification wave at every single spot. Every time you create one of the rings, you get resonance. When you create resonance, you get energy and resonance in a field. Now, because they're so tightly wound to one another, they're going to go ahead and create hot energy in it, not cold energy in the ring. Therefore, there's going to be amperage at the end. In the end, he takes all of them and runs them right through the center and back out. Why? Because he picks up more energy that way. Ian's done the test on this and proved it. Yeah. Look, we should have already understood this a long time ago if we understood frequency of resonance. The problem is we don't have a lot of that because the scientists haven't been talking about it because they don't understand it. I mean, they would have had a lot more of these things working by now. What is that device, guys? It's supposed to be working on a captivated field in frequency. I just miffed what the name is. It's supposed to work, and it apparently doesn't work all that well. And all they had to do was understand the ring the correct way. If they understood the ring, the frequency, and how it works and how it builds out, they would have had that device moving. They would have had, already, engines up in space. I did a test with multiple Tesla coils. I put one inside of another. I had no problem pulling the ring out of each one of them. And let me tell you, that's a monster amount of energy right there. When you do something like that, make sure you have protection in the garage of wherever the Tesla coil is pointed. I'll just say that about it. But it's a monster amount of energy. So, yeah. That pipe, man, that still gets me. That's total psyop. I can't believe some of the people that are into this stuff heavy, and then they look at that, and then you're like, okay, do I need to rethink your channel, or do you just get some bad advice? I mean, which is it? Because you start to worry me here. If you understand it as a science experiment, okay, I totally understand that, and I can respect it. Free energy, yeah. Nope, put a coil on your bee hole and blow it out and get more energy than that. Might even get a partial magnetic field, just depending on what you ate. You'll get more energy. But not with that pipe, dude. Oh, man. Yeah. Sorry. No, if that was the case, they would be over there taking the tops off of those big fans that they keep building and just letting the pole go in an angle, huh? Oh, yeah, let's pull it in, man. We got a giant, useless fan pole we can use. Now, we can layer it in the correct stuff, of course. We'll spend $1 million to build one to prove that we get less than a volt of energy. That's because we're scientists. Anyway, I think it's so funny sometimes. Yeah, they got all kind of contradictions in this stuff. It's like they repeat it and they say, well, they don't read. They don't read these things. They don't look back in the history books and find out what's actually built already and see if it matches anything that we're building today. They couldn't quite do that, right? No. Let's run the Byfield-Brown effects inside of a vacuum chamber, but let's not realize what it's actually doing. When you realize it's field flipping to go the reverse direction, you got it right. If you go, well, it's magnetic fields turn, and yeah, we got it to move. No. Sorry. If you based all your information on how a magnetic field works, you're in trouble. Okay, you're in big trouble. You have no idea what scalar is. As a matter of fact, you try to write it off as a zero value in your equations, and you ruined every one of your equations because it's a field. It has energy. I mean, hello, McFly. Field, energy, something's producing it. How is it working? You can't zero it out. I mean, some of the things I hear these days, I'm just getting more and more gray hair, man. First of all, my kids gave me most of this, okay? But some of these people out there, man, and their bad experiments, they're giving me the other half. This one guy has a shaky machine, and that's all it was, dude. It's magnets, and it runs back and forth. Okay, and it's two of them. It goes like this, right? And somebody forgot to tell them that my air compressor does the same things, and I use rubber grommets to put in the ground, and I bolt it down so it stops doing that. They say, oh man, it moves in one direction, a little tiny bit, right? Hey, number one, NASA's never going to put that on their ship, right? Because they're not dealing with some shaky machine that's going to ruin everything else and wear down every part in their whole process. That'll never happen, okay? Let me just tell you that right now, okay? That's not happening. They'll flush the poo and get the power from that, but they'll never run that machine on there, okay? I don't care how much forward momentum it gets. It's not going on there. You have too many inconsistencies. And then once they bolt it down, they're going to have to use rubber grommets. And guess what? Like my air compressor, it's going to stay where it belongs, okay? And it's not going to create force. You see, you got to understand when an experiment is poo and time to move on. Just because something moves a little bit doesn't mean it's a good experiment for space. I mean, yeah, you proved the point. You spent millions of dollars and it moves an inch. Yeah. Okay, a gentle breeze does just as good. You know, dude, I got one better for you. If you want to spend $1 million, I will give you over Unity. Okay? No, I will. I will. And I won't. It won't take long. Okay, just hear me out. I'll go get myself a little generator. Okay, made of aluminum and coils of wire. Now hear me out. It's going to work. I will go and take a water wheel and put it on there. Then I'll go right over to a little pond and I'll simply suck on the hose and then make the water come out of it. And I'll siphon the water out of the pond. Now, it'll go over that little water wheel all day. It won't stop because it cannot equalize the pressure in the pond with the actual force that's coming out of the pipe or out of the hose. And it'll run that little water wheel all day. And you know what? I didn't put anything into it. I just used the understanding of physics to do it right. Over Unity, okay? You got more than what I put into it because I didn't cost me a thing except for sucking on the pipe for a second. That was it. And dude, I will absolutely give it to you for $1 million. Absolutely. Dude, you got it. No questions asked. Nothing. You can have it. I'll put it in your front yard to make great lawn art. You know what I mean? We could maybe run a light bulb on it. Maybe some little tiny LEDs for, maybe lighting up the trees in your yard. Yeah, pay me. Yeah, about $1 million. Yeah. Guess it cost me maybe $150 to build it. But I'll take the extra money. I mean, if you're going to build stupid things like pipes, my idea doesn't sound so bad, does it? Yeah. Maybe $2 million. Old man needs some money. That's right. Could build me a lot of coils for that. Oh man, some of the stuff I see. I mean, for God's sakes, man, find an engineer. Find an engineer. If you want to do this for a living, man, find one. And then just ask him what it does. Go out and do the experiment. If it's that simple, order the pipe. Order the pipe. Order your terrible multimeter and do the experiment. I swear, man, you'll do it. I'm going to trust that they're right in what they say because at such a little voltage, it's going to cost me more money to find out what's really going on than I care to even think about. I mean, for God's sakes, I got a lemon. I could use a lemon and get more energy. You know what I mean? Maybe my pie. As a matter of fact, I made my pie full of energy, guys. I did a test and made my pie radiate energy right out of it. And it lit up light bulbs. Hey, did I win? I mean, I took burritos and did it. I mean, that's still my funnest one. Why? Because the tortilla actually held in the energy and gave it more energy, and it gave it actual amps by the time it was done going through 4 of them, that it was able to turn on a second Tesla coil. So that was the hilarity of it. I think most people thought, oh man, you just got to hook to the number 2 cable that, there was no air gap in there, nothing that, it's just directly connected. No, I ran that sucker to the number one, man. I made that sucker oscillate through burritos. And then to double down, man, I did it right through some grapes. I mean, look, pay me $1 million, man. I'll get you some grape power. Heck, I even did them like you do in the microwave. And I made energy spark between them. I mean, man, I could really make you some energy. I mean, wow. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. Someone did scientific work, and I'm here making fun of them. And I don't think I'm really necessarily making fun of the people who do it, because I respect the heck out of them. What I don't understand is the physics community that rallies around it and puts this thing like a big turd trophy on their shelf and says, look at what I got. Look at it. It's the shiniest turd you've ever seen. And you're over here going, yeah, really? I mean, that's basically what they're doing, man. They're shining that turd for all it's worth. And then one of my favorite guys that I like to watch, the guy that has the Einstein hair, you know what I mean? That's in the bunker. And the British guy, man, love watching that guy. And then he's all over this invention. And I'm like, dude, are you being serious right now? Like, you're spoofing me, right? You're going to come out and start laughing at me here in the next half hour or something on the next show you do because they got it wrong. You know what I mean? Just like the guy that told you that we already had a pole switch on April Fool's. Did you guys see that one? Yeah, it happened already. We're about to experience a whole lot of bad stuff right now. Totally trolling us. Totally trolling us, man. I think that's what this experiment is. It's a freaking organite. We've already seen it. Okay? Oh, man. I guess, dude, look. Let me just say this. Okay? I'm simply going to build out resonance for what it is. And it kind of goes on the channel with some of the stuff we talked about. We talked with Liz and we understood what they were working on. And that they were working with resonance, and that's how they produced all their energy. And they knew it was multiple resonance energy fields, right? They knew they had to hit certain ones. And it all makes up in that ring. It all comes out the same way. You start looking inside of the Great Pyramid. It has the different sizes that goes down all the way. They knew it. They knew it. We're way behind because we don't know it. They knew exactly how to build this stuff out. They knew it worked. And it's a shame that not everybody is doing this. So, look, I'll be honest with you, man. If you got completed work, come on the channel, promote it, show it. You know, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. Okay? But, it's time to get it out there, guys. I mean, I like I said, I worked on that rodent coil for a whole 4 minutes, got that magnet start spinning. And because I knew the frequency and I knew which wave it had to be and I knew exactly how to do it. Now, I know how to pull the cold circuit. So we'll build that next. Yeah. Free for everyone? Awesome, brother. No, I'm being serious, man. We'll simply put it out there. And I'll be honest with you, man, like I do with everything else, I'll simplify everything. I'll take out probably half the parts. Sorry. I get it to work with half the parts. That's what I do. I love simplifying things. So, anyway, yeah, I was doing some trolling today. Sorry, guys. I had to. I mean, look, God, I keep saying it. They have a lot of people out there, guys, that have come up with stuff that's over Unity. And if you notice something, they start playing with the scalar field. Why would that be important? I mean, just think about that. Why is that so important in these experiments? Floyd Sweet, play with the scalar field. Now, I understand if you've never, ever dealt with it, why you wouldn't understand it. Okay? But once you do, you have it. And all of the over unity stuff that comes out starts to play in that field. Tesla knew it long before us. Tesla knew how to build free energy. That Wardenclyffe Tower has a signature right on it of, I created free energy, and by the time you get around to figuring it out, I told you so. That's what it is. He just told you so. That's it. He already knew it. Okay? Once you understand what scalar is, you understand it. It's just multiple fields that build up from the Earth. And they build out in different frequencies and different temperatures. And every time you hear somebody talk about that in scalar, I still don't understand why people don't get it. I don't. We know the mountains up top are cold. We know the ground is hot. What's the deal? The energy comes from the sky. The energy comes from the sky. It's the sun. Why are the mountains all cold? That's not fair. But come on, no. It hits the bubble on the outside, and the bubble travels into the inside. That's what it is. Okay? We got some molten cores. No, it can't be hollow. Oh, no, it can't be hollow. No, molten cores, molten layers upon molten layers. But I just saw lava in Hawaii just eat a car. How is it not eating the crust that we're standing on? I mean, we have a sun inside of our Earth that's eating us alive, and it eats cars? Man, what all our buildings and everything. What are we going to do now? Oh, but then there's oceans of water trapped in rock. So which is it? Big magma field or oceans of water trapped in rock? I don't know. Why do you keep contradicting yourself? I mean, wow. Talk about some bad science. I mean, who thought this up? Did somebody was eating pizza and the pepperoni fell down and it was all hot and they go, it's lava. It's lava in the middle, like my pepperoni. Yeah, they won't know any better. You know, the grease, it's like running through tubes in the ground like water, man. Like I spilled my drink on it and then boom, I got the Earth. That was the process of building the theory of the Earth, man. Yeah, they got it. Boom, big, man. They understood it, right? No, they were eating pizza, having a beer, having a good time. And we had to get this stuff crammed down our throats in elementary school like it was the gospel. Yeah, man, it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. I mean, what if the molten lava gets out of sync? I don't know. We got it stirring. We're on a wobble, right? It's stirring in there. How is it not splashing out? I don't know. I mean, it eats rock. How is it not? Maybe it's the pressure differential in the Earth that's creating the magma in certain spots of it, and that's what's creating the volcanoes to erupt because it has to get out somewhere. Oh, you can't use a scientific explanation like that. We had pizza and beer. That doesn't work for us. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, that we got everything wrong. Everything wrong. I saw one. They paid this guy millions and millions of dollars to go in there and put chemicals together to create the inside of the Earth, right? I could have used the millions of dollars. I could have built that for you, and it'll actually work. Your experiment still sucks. It still doesn't work. And then we had one guy, man, he got up there on the whiteboard and he said, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. And then when they got across the part that he didn't like, we're going to skip that part right there because he should have said he didn't understand it. But instead, he was over there bluffing. He just, oh man, but that's a big scientific explanation. No, it's not. You're wrong. Okay? Yeah. No. You with those things in the earth, man, you're becoming a flat earther to me. Let me give you a ship. You could sail it to the end of the earth and say hello from there, okay? And when you come back around and I meet you on the other side that I drove to, okay, we'll talk again, and then we'll take a drive back over the other side. Don't worry, we'll tow your boat, okay, and you can do it again. And by the time you're done, we're gonna find out if you went around the world, okay? Maybe we'll just trip you out and put you in an airplane and we'll just do the whole distance, right? And then, man, that flat earth goes on forever, doesn't it? We live in a lava. Lava's everywhere. Molten core, nickel and iron, nickel and iron. Well, are you sure? I don't know, man. Resonate it and let's find out what happens, because I guarantee you when you start to learn about scalar, you understand why the sun can resonate the earth. You don't need the energy field in the center. You just need both of them to be in resonance. Dude, I can light up a Tesla coil 20 feet away by turning on resonance to 1. Because when the frequencies match, and they match perfectly, you have energy that is in resonance. What does that mean? You pulled in the energy out of the atmosphere into the coil. You simply built the part to draw it in. You did not produce the energy. You built the part that pulls it in. There's nothing attached to the secondary coil, guys. 20 feet away, it starts up. Okay? Why? It's because it is the simple understanding of resonance. You're not producing the energy, you're drawing it in. Think about that. Why does a bridge sway when you put it in resonance? Why does it go all floppy and weird and all kind of crazy? Because it's in resonance. Because the world cannot account for the resonance. It's in too much of a vibrational state for the actual gravity to work on it. Why would we ever build UFOs based on airplane physics when you know this? They have signs. No horses on this bridge. They don't dislike horses. You know, they're not like, hey, those horses can't come here, boy. We don't like them horses. No, No, it's because they create resonance and they shake the bridge apart and it falls apart. And then all the horses go in the water. I mean, for God's sakes, they know this. Why? It's the consistency of the frequency. Think of a horse. All day, right there. Every single frequency in that simple ring. We see the ring everywhere in every experiment. It's that simple frequency, understand. There you go. Horses. Gotta love them. Yeah. We're just going to ride the wave, buddy. That's it. We're going to be that frequency. It distorts nature. See, that's what people don't understand. You want anti-gravity, you must start with something that distorts the gravity. I don't know, maybe it could help. We're not building an airplane here. We don't put up a propeller on it. We're not putting rockets on it. We're not trying to force it against nature. I mean, hello, McFly. We don't understand. You must first distort nature. We have examples of it. Who knew? Sounds like a new thing to me, right? No. Tesla didn't make the earthquake machine, just an old man talking. Yet he describes it perfectly and it works exactly the same way. But don't mind that, just an old man talking. Nope, couldn't have done it. Physics says no, but it works. Maybe you had bad physics. Occam's razor, buddy. You made up the term. Now eat it. That's it. I don't know, guys. The more I do this, the more I think that, honestly, though I'm trolling people and talking garbage, it seriously comes down to that simple understanding. Do you understand resonance? Do you understand how it works? Do you understand why it's working? Do you understand that everything's built on a pattern and frequency? That I showed the calcite in water, and it produces energy. Well, if you produce energy, you must produce a frequency, right? That's the way it works. You can't have one without the other. Okay, I can live with that. What does that mean? It means you can find the frequency of anything that you put in there that has energy. So what's the frequency of it? Let's amplify that frequency. I don't know, maybe some strange things will happen. What do you say? Yeah, strange things happen. I mean, it really is. I mean, I guess it sounds like I oversimplify it, but why use all the big words? I had somebody describe, somebody I greatly respect, describe something for about 45 minutes. And I summed it up in a paragraph. And I'm thinking, man, I'm hard of hearing. I got to slow this down. I got to listen to every word. There's got to be something important in here. I got out my thesaurus and I looked up the words. Nope, it was a circle. It said the same thing 20 times. It was a circle. It was well disguised, but it was a circle. Yeah. Things in physics are pretty simple, guys. Get down to the basics, okay? If you know you're drawing in energy, because energy cannot be created or destroyed, which means you're not creating the energy, you're creating the draw. You're literally creating the environment for the energy to form the vortex to come into what you're doing. It changes your understanding of physics. Okay? Pyramid pulls in the energy, creates a vortex in the upper atmosphere, brings it into the pyramid itself, drops it into your water table, has energy. All the greenness starts to grow, vegetation and everything, right? Grows healthy, grows well, and it makes the desert green. Oh, really? Well, why haven't we been doing this the whole time? Tesla tried. Oh, he tried. He created Wardenclyffe, and the fat cat shot him down. No. Can't do this. If they could read what he actually wrote in his actual patents and they knew what he was doing, they would have known it a long time ago. They still didn't figure that one out. Now they kind of know, so they stop everybody from doing it. I mean, it's worthless to file a patent these days. Where are you going to go? This is my signature to the CIA. Come and get me. This is where I live. This is what I did. Yeah, come and get me. That's what it is. So, it's ridiculous. Just give it out free, man. Once we understand resonance, man, we have it all. We're where the Egyptians are. We aren't to where the Atlanteans were, but we're where the Egyptians are. I think it's always important to understand your history. What's possible? What have people observed? What can we take from those learnings? There's got to be something there. We go to the Coral Castle. Well, how to do that? Interesting when you look at it. Frequency. What's the little black box? What could be so small but work so well? Yet he had all kind of amplifiers and radio and speakers, and then he had a simple coil that basically put out a pulse. Well, if we took something in resonance and hit it with a pulse, guess what? We are distorting nature because we came up with a resonant frequency. Oh, no, it sounds pretty easy to me. There's a water table right below. He had a well right there. So you have atmospheric energy, water table. If you're the thing in between, how much weight do you have? That's it. That's a better question than creating a little pipe. What kind of energy do you have in the middle? What kind of weight does it create? Does it reduce weight? That's kind of the big anti-gravity question, isn't it? Does it reduce weight? And then even weight reduction is kind of a misnomer. You can't put one of these on a scale. I had somebody tell me, put the gravity flyer on a scale, the rotational magnets, man, it'd be great on a scale. Well, I've seen this thing jump around on the ground, and it looks like it jumps off the ground for about a millisecond. And you go, okay, a scale is a bad idea, number one, because it's 3 pounds and it's popping off of the ground by a little bit, just based on the centrifugal force of the magnets on a rotating disc. I mean, I don't know about you, but that isn't going to work, because it's going to tell you, oh my God, massive weight reduction by what, on the scale, because it jumped a little bit. So then it lost the weight on the scale. Then you're going to go, oh my God, it's anti-gravity. No. It's centrifugal force on a disc. That's what it is. And I won't lie to somebody like that. It's a complete lie. Oh, man, make you look like a superstar. Yeah, but I'd be lying. Not just to you, I'd lie to myself in order to put it out. I refuse to do that. So, no, either it lifts or it doesn't, and I'm satisfied if it doesn't. Guys, it's an experiment to reproduce somebody else's work. It's a reverse engineering project. I try hard to do it, and I know a lot of stuff. So, I mean, that's what it is. It's reverse engineering. It is not build your own, play with the different stuff, change out everything. It's not what that experiment is. Now, trust me, I'd take the whole thing and throw it in the garbage can if I could and start over, because I know exactly what I need. I just can't get this thing to give it to me. So, I build other coils and stuff, and they start to work in that direction a lot faster than this stuff, man. I can scale it quickly. I can figure out every frequency in there. I can tell you each individual level. I could tell you it builds upon one another, man, just by the way it's built, just by the frequencies coming out of it. As the vortexes are 180 degrees out of phase. So in the coil, it's like this thick. One goes on, it goes up, one goes down. Just like this. And this is the way it's going to work, right? And it vortexes. 2 vortexes, they cross over each other in this field right here. In that field is that null zone. Right there. So, yeah, it's where transmutation starts to happen. When funny things start to happen in your lab. You want to create time dilation? That's not hard. You basically need to create, how do I say it? A magnet motor. Not motor in the way you're thinking, but a simple one big magnet, okay? And have it rotate and pull the energy off of it and let it spark the shaft. You're going to get all of your static electricity, and then you're going to get an amp motor out of it. That's what you're going to get. And then strange things start happening. Okay? That's when the fun begins. That's when you start to get into the first beginnings of understanding time dilation. You are literally starting to create a bubble in your garage, and you don't know it. And you won't know it until you start working with it. Before you know it, you're overcome by it, and you start getting freaked out. Yeah, there could be some X-rays and markers. Dude, there's a whole bunch of nasty fields in this thing. I won't ever lie to you. You're literally creating enough static electricity to slow you down in the room. Okay? The key is the room hot or cold? There's a question for you. Hot room creates static electricity, right? More energy, the better. God, you know how many people tell me that? Oh, more energy, the better. Pour it in there. Pour it in. Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure? has been my experience. Every time I put too much energy in something, I ruin it. It's the fact that the room's cold and you're building a hot bubble. Now the room is working for you. You're not working for it. It is working for you. It's helping you thicken that bubble. Pretty interesting, huh? Total change of how things work. Well, you always wanted it to work for you. You just didn't know how. Now you can start to see how it works, man. Yep. It's about the temperature in the room, man. And please don't think I ever said this, okay? Because this is not what I'm trying to tell you. Do not go over there and start putting as much fans on it as you can to cool it down. You're missing the point. You're dealing with energy flow in the room. The energy must flow in the room to create it cold. You cannot create it cold. You're understanding the cause and effect wrong. The energy itself in the room must cool it down, not putting a fan on it to cool it down. Liquid nitrogen is not going to help. It is a room temperature superconductor. That's what 0 point is. That's it. It's going to take room temperature and drop it by 5 to 10 degrees, and it is essentially a room temperature superconductor. It is not super frozen, not super hot. 5 degrees to 10 degrees below the temperature of the room, and it superconducts energy by trapping fields. That's it. That's it, guys. It traps fields in there. Same thing I've been telling you the whole time. Your radiant field traps in your static field. We live in a hot energy bubble in the part that we're in the world. And we know that because we can rub our hands together and then shock somebody. We can put our socks on, go down the hall, and shock somebody. In a positive energy environment, that happens. That's how you know. The energy's in the air. All we did was create an area for it to come into. We drew it in. We created heat, and we drew in the energy. Anyway, what are you guys up to in the chat over here? Let's see. 2 large coils might create a window. You just see a geometry coil, guys. Let me make that very simple for you. Let me simplify the answer for you. Make a geometry coil. Okay? Make it with all of the shapes that go into a crystal. Okay? That is the simplest way to do it. They literally made mandalas to tell you this. Okay? That's it. It's as simple as it gets. You want 0 point energy? That's how you're going to do it. It has to do with magnetic fields. It has to do with the scalar. And it has to do with a bunch of static electricity that cannot get out. And it starts building energy in there. And remember, you're not turning it off. Where is it going? It must be building up in there and not able to leave. Once you reach the point of saturation, you get self-run. That's it. Sounds oversimplified because it really is that easy. The hardest part of these whole coils is to figure out which way to wind them. So, check out my small vortex generation. I'm having so much fun with it. Everybody can use it if they like simple things. Absolutely. I will check it out. Come on there and check out what you got going on, man. Let's see. I will show it to the channel members. Please, I'd like people to contribute on it on GitHub. Well, okay. Go with me, man. As long as you got something there, come on, show it. I'm all good, man. You can promote your GitHub if you'd like, but show us what you got, man. I'm always open to everybody show it. I only got a couple rules. We don't talk medical, and we try to cut down on cussing, and we never say certain keywords for YouTube, so they leave us alone. Other than that, man, come on and show your stuff, and we'll promote your things, and you show us what you got. Bob Boyce calls Bob Boyce, by the way. We're going to structured water. Structured water. Frequency structuring water. Energy smacker. Ever heard of it? Probably not. It's a Tesla coil with the rod down the center, and it changes and structures the water. Remind you of Hutchinson in a boat trying to clean a river? Yeah, that's about what you're getting to, buddy. That device is awesome. Structures the water. Let me see what he did. So in his lecture, he said take a glass of orange juice and a glass of structured water, put them in the fridge together, and when you grab your water, it'll taste like the orange juice. Yeah. There you go, water smacker. Yeah, pretty interesting, right? We heard stories about that. Let's turn our water into wine, shall we? Never said what kind of water. Yeah, maybe a little structured water next to a little wine. Let's see if it works. Huh? Maybe a cool experiment. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Most people are just going to look up his name and they'll find out what it is, man. I'm just going to tell you, it works. I'll say that. I've done Tesla coils enough with the water. I can tell you it works. So, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, they love to lie to us and change history, that's for sure. Let's see. They think they're so much smarter than us. They really do, man. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Just so you know. Yeah, if you've been in this community long enough, you know what it makes, and you know who got in trouble for it and who is no longer with us. And those kind of things happen in transmutation, and we don't generally talk about it. And as a matter of fact, I avoid the subject at all costs because that is the number one way to get on the wrong radar. And you do not want to be on that. No, even want to admit you know it. Yeah, they made tons of money. They didn't get to spend it. Nope, not one bit, man. Make all the money you like. You ain't spending it. Not when they find out what you did. Oh, yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. Oh, I don't know about half these things. But since this guy's in here asking people to contribute, hey, I do memberships on my channels, guys. You want to get in on it and help me out so I can do experiments, please, by all means, become a member of the channel. Hook me up on Patreon, man, and I appreciate everything you guys can do. So just kind of, if you're going to do it, I'll do it. And there you go. So, and then just to let you guys know, I did start a podcast channel. And what I do is I take the live shows, cut them down into the phone format, so the long format, so that you can go ahead and put them on your YouTube music and play them if you want. It's all the interviews I do with people and stuff like that, so it's good quality information. Also, I'll put on there all of the PDFs that I translated through AI. That way, just listen in your car and get information directly off of what the patent is. And not from my voice, it's obviously AI, but it's the 100% the patents that they file. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, kind of cool, man. I created that, and now everybody gets to listen to it. So if you look up the Old Man Builds, it's on there, and you can listen for the podcast on that. Also, I went on Instagram, TikTok. We're also on Facebook, Old Man Builds on Facebook. I put up a new site on there. I also have a Gravity Flyer site on Facebook if you're interested in that, so that we can get to the bottom of that nightmare and get that one done and over with. It's been a long time, guys. That's why I say it that way. I've had it way too long. And I'm also on X, guys, if you want to reach out on there. Old Man Builds on there. Probably says my name on there, Nathan. So, yeah, I'm working it. Yeah, trying to, man. I'm trying as hard as I possibly can, man. It isn't always easy, you know. It's like I started a second, a third, and a fourth career all in one, and they pay me less than a month than I made in an hour. So, oh yeah, it's all good, man. But anyway, oh, so what do you guys think, man? What do you guys think of that pipe? Is it bogus? Is it BS, man? What is it? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you had the same feeling I did. You had to have. Oh man, I don't want to make a generator to power my house. That's not one of my goals. You guys could do that. I just want it to self-run, and I'll be happy. I mean, pulling over Unity coil, be happy with that. And then other people can make things for your house. I'll let everybody else do all the hard work, and I'll do the easy stuff and just build it and go on with my little channel. So, some paid actors. A potato was a paid actor today, just so you know. It got paid by, it's going to be eaten later by me after it produced energy for me. I will be eating that potato. Just like I ate my burritos after I got them to light up my testicle. Oh man, the Van der Graaf. Oh my God, dude, I have enough static in here as it is. Oh, Van der Graaf generator. Oh man, Sean's got one of those. He's working with the electrics, and that thing's a good size one too. I'm sure he gets all the shocks all day long, man. I got, one of those Wilmhurst bins, and I crank that sucker up, and I get shocked by that thing all the time. Use it then? Yeah, I could. Like I said, guys, you got to understand some of these devices are not right. You do not want to overpower a field. Let me give you an example of an powered field. Hutchinson had an overpower field. Everything in hot energy, massive voltages going in on all this stuff. He had it in a contained area, and he got anti-gravity out of it. He did. There's no question about it. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you becoming a member, dude. Rock on, brother. So he got anti-gravity out of it, man. No questions asked. He did it. He bent material. He created plasmoids. He used hot energy, man, and he got it to work. It is a oversaturation of an area, and it's very uncomfortable to be in, and you don't necessarily need to do everything that way. Will it work? Yeah. I could shove lots of voltage in something, man, and probably get it to lift. But that's not how do you, like, all the calculations in physics say 1,000,000 volts, 1,000,000 amps. Do you want to be riding in that? I mean, we all say ride the lightning, man, but do you really want to ride the lightning? Because that's what you're going to do. You're going to have a lightning bolt up the wazoo, man. That's what you're going to have. It's not going to be fun. Okay? That's like taking a direct blast from the sky, man, during rainy time. If you know what I mean, you're gonna feel it right through you. And no, thank you. I'm not riding in that. Got to create it in cold energy, man. Got to do it the right way. Yeah, rock on, brother. Thank you for joining, man. Yeah, we got people out there, man, that are creating their coils and stuff too. I don't know if you know that. I have a lot of people reach out to me who have created the Tesla coil that I made, and I should probably show it off again. But you can see the coils behind me. It's a perfect frequency for the ZVS. So, and they work great every time, man. Every time without trouble. If you don't fiddle with them like I do, they'll last you a long, long time. I made a new coil winder too, and I'm all excited because the 3 hours it takes me to wind a coil is now, like 9-10 minutes, and that's it. And I still wear the granny glasses, and I still look down at the wires as they cross a little bit, you know, one a little bit over the other, and still widen these things, man. But way, way faster. And I'll be putting that out on my channel here real soon. I'll just do a whole show on the winder and then show you how fast it winds a coil. So I got all the parts printed out and all put together now. All of it's wired up. It's all ready to go. So that'll be out real soon. Oh, man. So we got to play with the rodent coil today. And also, let me show this for those of you who haven't seen it yet. I actually, let me see right here. I can now change the frequency in my DC flyback. I've been doing this for a long time. People have been asking me to show them this, so I'm going to show it to you guys. I just want to show you a simple circuit. And all we're going to do is change the frequency in our high voltage. So right here we have our spark gap. We have our DC flyback. There is EVS. We have a trigger circuit. Now, this is pretty simple. This is a 12-volt power pack. 12 volts goes into here. Positive and negative. Positive and negative come out of here. Go into the positive and negative here. That's simple. This right here has a high and low, so the high's on this side, the low's on this side, the middle's the ground. It'll show it on the back of this thing. These are cheapy $5 circuits for probably 3 of these. And all we do is have our function generator set up to positive and negative here. The cord goes around here to our function generator. And then we also have right here our probe for our oscilloscope. Now, you're going to hear the change in frequency once this thing starts going. So let me try to put this as close as I can so that you can hear the change. There we go. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in my power pack. You hear it there. So what am I doing to get that? Now I just have this set on DC pulse. Sorry about that. That's pretty loud in my ears too. I'm sorry. But I did want to just show you that it changed the frequency. The fries are done. Ha ha! Yeah, they've been done a long time ago. So's my brain today. Anyway, yeah, basically, look, it's very simple, guys. You can see what it does right there. You put it on pulse, and you put it in there, and that same circuit we used earlier is the same one we're using here. We're just using a trigger circuit in order to put frequency into something. And then you can see it works with your high voltage so that it changes the frequency of it. So this is what I use on my gravity flyer plates right here. I put the frequency onto them so that I can pull resonance. So once I put this frequency at the resonance of the actual discs themselves, which is the RPM times 60 is the frequency, then we can multiply it and create resonance in each one. Again, resonance machine trying to build it. So just so we understand, guys, that's, they're just simple circuits. And I know there's not much to them, and that's why I show it to you. So everybody can do it. Everybody can get in on the game. Everybody can play. See what you can come up with. Put them into different, coils and things like that. And then see how it changes it. Maybe, you'll be able to match the resonance frequency better by putting a frequency generator to it and changing it, because it overrides the oscillation of the MOSFET or transistor itself, and it puts in the frequency over top of it, so it overrides it. So it's great to use on a ton of circuits, man. That's how you do it. So next thing is, man, maybe we'll just make it into a music circuit. Maybe I'll just take my phone and I'll take a coax cable or a little jack cable. I'll put it in there, and then I'll put positive and negative on it. And then I'll just play some AC/DC Thunderstruck right through it and make that coil rock out, man. So that might be the next step in the whole process. You know, put a little old man builds on it. That might work out for us. So I don't know. I'm just trying to show you guys this is pretty easy stuff, and sometimes that's all it takes. Show you a little bit, you build the rest, see what you come up with, and make some cool experiments, man. So yeah. Hey, I want to say thank you right now to Ricky, man. Thank you for the $3, dude. I really appreciate this, guys. It really helps me out and gets me to take care of everything. And all the money that I get from my channel, it goes right back into my channel, man. It goes back to building things. So what you don't see is everything around me. I got a bunch of wire. I got a bunch of transistors, MOSFETs in order to do this stuff. I got a lot of equipment in here that helps me figure all this stuff out so that we can all build things like this. So thank you again. Thank you for the membership earlier. And then thank you right now, Ricky, for the $3, man. Awesome. Awesome, man. I appreciate it. So anyway, guys, that's about it for me. It's been 2 hours, man. I'm kind of worn out. Let me just give you the final thoughts on this, guys. I think that pipe thing's interesting as a science experiment, but as far as free energy goes, there's no chance. It's just done. Now, you'd have to do a lot more to it. And to be honest with you, I could just pull the energy out of the atmosphere faster if you just, they let you build a Wardenclyffe tower. We can have this whole process done very quickly and get some free energy. Will it be to the needs of what everybody needs out there? Maybe not. Maybe you have to build several of them. That's probably why they had pyramids all over the entire world, because they were a global civilization before, which the history books conveniently tells us no, which means it's yes. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, you didn't know. Tesla pulled it right out of the atmosphere, man. You put the Wardenclyffe tower in there, and it pulls the vortex into it. It's a draw. And it's created because the coil that goes underneath of it has a wooden dowel sitting inside of it. When you do that, it creates hot energy. That hot energy creates a draw for the pump, which is the Tesla coil, which pulls the energy from the atmosphere down through the Tesla coil, down into the bottom and into the water table. In the center of it where you see the coils, that's hot energy, guys. That's created, again, because there's a wooden dowel right there. So anytime you take the inside of a hollow core, okay, and then you put a core into it, regardless of what it's made out of, it creates heat in it, in the windings, which creates amps. For those who don't understand why amps are heat, you should really start to listen a little bit more when I say it. Amps is the heat that creates the field. It is the draw for the system to make the pump work. So, all right, guys. Somebody's got 100,000 of those pipes over there. Better make some phone calls, man. That guy's getting a lot of free energy. He's going to run a whole town soon. I'm just messing with the negative reds, man. You're awesome. If you haven't checked out his channel, man, check it out. He's got those wine bottle coils. Absolutely one of my favorite things to watch on the internet. So interesting, man. You keep rocking out there, brother. All right, guys. I'm going to play the song, man. Give credit to people who are out there doing stuff, man. Ricky, thank you for becoming a member, man. Or for gifting a membership as well. Thank you. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Yeah, I love it, man. Getting the word out. I appreciate it, man. Hey, Sean will be here, guys, on Wednesday. And I'm looking forward to it. For those who haven't seen the short out there, he did do the Blue Nile Pyramid coil. And it is up and running. So, guys, we're doing good. All right, man. Have you guys all a great night.
The old man will. The old man will. The old man will. The old man builds. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put them in the red. Where conscious and spirituality restricted from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Spheres of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to instead. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds.